If it were possible to consider something as wrong, only misunderstanding could be defined as such. Even filled with this misunderstanding, it is easy, because it is obvious, and even in the face of all limits, to perceive the role that each one occupies in the created universe. It is easy to recognize the importance of everything being conducted with perfection in each place. Questionings always arise due to misunderstanding, and misunderstanding is necessary for each action to occur. In other words, an action is carried out automatically, in accordance with its relationship to all other actions. To compose the universe, giving it time and form, is to do what must be done, without questioning, regardless of understanding. The perception of the universe is temporary, individual, and by its nature, incomprehensible. The universe that is perceived, however, is the result of all actions. The one who executes the action is an impelled agent. Any being, regardless of how it is identified, is an impelled agent, and a provocateur of another action, in order to maintain fidelity to the project of transformation of the universe. Each being is part of the whole, and is in the right place, at the right time, performing the right actions. Only ignorance makes this incomprehensible. The central point of each being is the central point of the universe. Expanding into the formation of new bodies, from that central point, whether into larger or smaller bodies, regardless of progression, transfers the limit of understanding, adjusting it to the new body that is understood and identifies itself as a new being. A being, upon recognizing the limits of the states of perception that accompany it, will always be composed of other smaller beings, each with its own states of perception. This new being that identifies itself is part of the composition of the immediately superior being. The identity of a being will always be suited to the frame of reference, and the identification delivered by perception. Infinity and eternity conceptualize an incomprehensible universe, which exists only due to misunderstanding. This identified element, whatever designation is given to it, is likewise in the same process of transformation as the universe. The transformation of each thing transforms the universe. To understand time means to recognize its non-existence, for that which never was, is not, and never will be, can never exist. Only understanding brings certainty, and only understanding reveals the driver of the agents of actions. Stated clearly, the I of the being in manifestation exists only because of self-identification. When the parts of that being transform, that I begins to self-identify in the new form. The concept, often misunderstood, of reincarnation, heaven, hell, or mythical places, relates to the repositioning of the being in manifestation into new frames of reference. Classification into concepts is necessary only for those who need to understand their own location. The being then establishes self-identities, and through them, presents itself to itself and to others. The identity of the being has a just limit, for in the created universe, nothing is more or less important than the creature called universe, which ultimately originates in a single place. The mind of the being itself.